Dublin, the final day of campaigning, and a delicate dance of yes and no. Behind this fault line is a long, painful road.
We'd wanted to bring her home to meet my family. Sorry.
Devastating are the stories that made today possible, like that of Amy Walsh, was refused an abortion even though her fetus had no chance of survival, and her life was ultimately at risk.
So I just remember begging them, saying, please, can you not induce me? Like, if you're worried about this, please. And they just said as long as my baby had a heartbeat, they could not intervene until my life was in danger.
She was forced to travel to Liverpool for an abortion. The tortured story goes back to another referendum and a constitutional amendment that banned abortions. Countless hushed stories since of extreme measures.
They have their friends punch them in the stomach, they throw themselves down the stairs, they use wire coat hangers, they have aggressive sex, they abuse their body in a million different ways in the hope of bringing on a termination.
Was able to build up the courage and say, I travelled.
An estimated 170,000 opted to travel instead, often in secret. Here, some of their stories are read out loud. The government wants it all to stop.
This is a once-in-a-generation vote, and as I say, if there is a yes vote, Ireland will still be the same place, just a place that's a little bit more compassionate.
Unfathomable for them, too, is the government's proposal to allow all abortions up to 12 weeks. They play a recording of a fetal heartbeat to make their point.
When you've trained, when you've worked in the area of saving life, abortion is life-ending. It is never life-saving. Our government has never reached out to these families, to these women, except to offer them to end the life of their child.
With such impassioned arguments, no surprise that come the referendum, the turnout is so high. Among the voters, Amy Walsh. She hopes the vote will be her lost child's legacy.
Oh my God!
Others came from as far away as Canada, like Amy Fitzgerald, literally off the plane from Charlottetown.
Well, I suppose I want my voice heard. This is such an important issue. I think if it's a yes vote, it'll end the stigma and the shame.
Some would hold out until the end, hoping to change one more person's mind.
I suppose more than anything else, I feel I'm a witness for the babies and for the mothers, and do my best, do my bit.
Candles out then.
So much of this wrenching debate comes from the heart. For them, it's about all those who suffered and imagining a walk in their shoes.
We can't be ignored any longer, and gradually the silence that has prevailed in Irish society about abortion has kind of accumulated this week into a deafening roar.
According to the exit polls, those stories, now heard, seem to have resonated. Nala Ayed, CBC News, Dublin.
Now, Ireland is one of the few Western democracies that still doesn't allow women to have abortions, but it's not an outlier in the bigger global picture. Highlighted here are places where abortions can only be done to save a woman's life, or not at all. For example, in El Salvador, a woman can face up to 30 years in prison for having an abortion. Meanwhile, here are the countries, including Canada, where a woman can have an abortion without having to give any reason at all. In many other countries, she'd have to justify it on health or financial grounds.